There we are. Alrighty. I wonder if I can just sort of... Ignore that corner. This corner up here. Ignore that corner. Hello. Hello there. How's everyone doing today? Y'all enjoying yourselves? I think I need to slightly scoot over. Hadn't noticed until you pointed it out. It's very small to notice. Even now, I don't know. This green screen effect is still a work in progress. Thank you. It is a bit of a fun background. Decided to make these a little more fancier nowadays. These streams make them a little fancier, so got myself a nice green screen with a nice purple void that we can look into at all times. And yeah, like I said, still a work in progress. You can kind of see through, if I can move my fingers right, you can still kind of see through up here. Really need to work on that, but for the most part, it's okay. And yeah, I just thought I would. Honestly, I don't even need this for these chat streams because it's pretty much just me here. But if I did like a gaming stream, which I would like to do, then it would definitely be a bit more useful. So yeah. How is everybody doing today? We'll probably give it a minute or two before we start getting into this. While we're waiting, if you guys want to come up with any questions for me to answer about Torchwood, you can go ahead and start making those, because I will admit I'm a bit unprepared for this stream. Even though I planned this, a week in advance, I didn't really come up with topics to discuss, like, episodes, ranking episodes and seasons, although seasons ought to be pretty easy. Seasons ranked. Well, obviously 3 is at number 1. Obviously, Series 3 is going to be at the top. It is definitely the best. I kind of go back and forth on the other 3, like which one. Series 1 and 2 are pretty close together. Like maybe Series 2 has a few more good episodes than Series 1, so maybe I would put that slightly higher. I know I'm adjusting my bangs in the hope that they'll get longer. I got a haircut on Saturday, and a little short. Top 3 team members. Ooh, that one's interesting. But we'll start with the seasons. So Season 3 would definitely be at the top. I might put Season 2 slightly above Season 1, because I think it definitely had... I think it had a few more, like, better episodes. That's the word I'm looking for, jeez. I think Series 2 is a little bit better. And then where would I put Series 4? I think overall I might tie Series 4 with Series 2, because like I don't know, because Series 4 I love Series 4. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really good. It does suffer from padding, I will say. It did not need to be 10 episodes, but I would probably say that puts it about on level with Series 2. I guess I could look up. Let me get out my playlist. It's exactly like the Game of Thrones stream. I just realized. Duh. I made sure not to wear anything green, so I'm not see-through, but I didn't even realize the Sprite logo would be see-through. That's funny. right, there's my Torchwood playlist. Let's see. So, what did we have in Series 2? And then it ended, and then Series 4 was and then it ended. So that's a very comprehensive analysis of the 2 seasons. I think I would put Series 2 and Series 4 kind of on level. Like, the stuff that's good is really, really solid, but then there's stuff which is just really kind of okay, and I feel like the two seasons sort of have the same amount of that, honestly. So, yeah, that's probably what I would say. And then I guess that means Series 1 goes at the bottom. Not that I didn't like Series 1. I really love Series 1. It has some of my favorite episodes. All right, mostly Out of Time, but you get the idea. But and Countryside. Countryside was an excellent episode. So, yeah, but I would probably put Series 1 at the bottom, even though it is still got a lot of good stuff in there. And then probably tie Series 2 and Series 4, and then put Series 3. So, yeah. Let's see. Top 3 team members. That one's tricky. So, okay. So, do we take this as all team members? So, Jack, Gwen, Yanto, Owen, Tosh, Susie. I guess Susie can count. And then, does Lois count? Lois Abiba? Who else? Does Reese count? Reese, he's an honorary member, I suppose. Who else was there? I feel like there was someone else. And then Rex and Esther, I guess. I don't think you can count Oswald. So, yeah. So, of those, who would I... For a top 3, I would probably put Jack, Gwen... Oh, that's where it gets tricky. Who do you put as third? Maybe Yanto. It's definitely like between Yanto, Tosh, and Owen. Honestly, all the others, even though I like all the others, it's like, yeah, I don't think they're as good. Like, they don't get as much character development and stuff. But Owen got a lot of character development, like in Series 2 and stuff. So, maybe I would put Owen, just because Owen's character was definitely like very interesting, because he was just such a prick, when the show began, and then we go through 2 seasons with the guy, and then he's just great at the end of it. You kind of get to like him. He's sort of the lovable a-hole. And then he just goes through just so much character development with just being undead, basically. So, yeah, and you really feel when he actually dies. When he dies the second time, basically. Which was interesting. You would think it's like... Sorry, I'm adjusting my shirts and stuff. You would think that when... It's like, okay, he died once. Well, does he die again? Normally you would think, well, he's already died once, we shouldn't do it again, but no, they definitely went for it. So, my eyes are watering. Sorry about that. What was your favorite, as much as you can have, death? Favorite death? Favorite death. Let me look through here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember every episode. There were a lot of episodes, man. Does Owen's first death count? I think that should count. But see, that's not exactly the death, but it's the character development that came afterwards. So, yeah. Maybe that. Oh God, favorite death. That is really hard. Yanto's kind of came out of nowhere. Now that I think about it. Well, and that was the weird thing too, because having watched that so closely after watching Series 2, we took a little break between Series 2 and Series 3 just to, keep going with Doctor Who and stuff. But even then, it wasn't really that much, was it? I'm going to occasionally look over and check my stream health. Because if you guys were here for... If you guys were here for my last stream, my Game of Thrones stream, the last 20 minutes, just the frame rate just crapped out. The audio was still fine. So we run the risk of doing that again, but I've taken measures to hopefully not do that again. All right, I'm going through my actual videos. Like, how long? It was not that long, actually. Yeah, we had exit wounds the same week that we had turn left. And then we had 1 week for the Stolen Earth. And then we went straight into Children of Earth. Yeah, so we only took a 1 week break. So we went from immediately watching, Tosh and Owen die to then getting Yanto dead, basically. Pretty much technically that episode came out the next week, but I recorded all 5 of those episodes in 2 days. Maybe not my brightest idea, but hey, I had to record them sometime. So yeah, I would probably say, oh man, it's still tricky. Whose death was my favorite? The weirdest one was Angelo's. Can we just say that? That was a weird scene when Angelo died in Series 4. Because, we had Jack screwing around, and then it's like, no, he is dead. And then Jack just keeps screaming, he's dead! That was a very weird scene. So, that might take the cake for weirdest death. But yeah, maybe Owen's first death, if you can even count that, which I think you should. I think you can count that as an actual death. So probably that one. Let's see. Season 3 is usually my favorite. Still won't forgive them for killing Yanto. Again, that just kind of happened, didn't it? It's just it just happened, and then he died, and it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, well, what the heck? He's just dead, and it's like, well, bye. And it's like, all right. Let's see. Yeah, Lois should count as a team member, basically. Let's see. Ooh, this is an interesting question. Do you think they made the right choice keeping the Doctor out of Torchwood, despite Jack talking about him a lot, or do you think it would have been cool to have him in an episode? I think early on that would have been really cool, and that would have, I don't know, not exactly validated the show. I don't want to say that, because it doesn't really need that. It didn't need that. But there was something about, he did keep talking about the Doctor. I think later on is kind of when it's like, okay, this feels like, stuff the Doctor needs to show up for, but at the same time, once you get into later seasons like Series 3 and Series 4, it's almost better that he's not there, It kind of makes the stakes, it makes everything a bit more dire. Excuse me, that, we have to stick with the Torchwood team. The Doctor can't come in and save this. So I think back when the show was a bit more episodic, I think it would have worked. But at the same time, back when the show was episodic, then it tied into Doctor Who. So at the end of series 1 of Torchwood, you get Jack running off, and then you pick up in Utopia, and here comes Jack, and it's like, all right, cool. And then at the end of series 2, okay, the end of series 2 doesn't exactly tie in, but then once you get into the Stolen Earth, it's like, okay, here's the Torchwood team, and they reference the fact that Owen and Tosh are dead. So, like, I feel like in those seasons it worked that, like, yes, would it have been cool if the Doctor had showed up? Yes. But at the same time, they tied into the Doctor. They went to Doctor Who. And then the later seasons, it honestly doesn't really work because it's like they're too self-contained, and they really depend on the Torchwood team, which is good. I'm fine with that. And it definitely, like, that last episode, day 5 of series 3, it's very. I do love Gwen's monologue at the beginning. It's like, the Doctor must look at this planet and turn away in shame. Which, at the same time, the Doctor. I don't know, it's interesting because you almost think, like, well, no, the Doctor wouldn't do that. The Doctor would come and save the day. He'd save all the children and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, the Doctor would be disappointed. The Doctor would be ashamed of this human race. The human race that he has, cherished and nourished for, 1,000 years or something? However long he's been doing this, he's gone through each and every form, and he keeps, he is like the guardian of the human race. He tries his best to keep the peace and, make sure that the human race survives and thrives, and he loves the race so much. So yeah, if he saw this, it would be horrible. So, honestly, that just kind of makes it better. That that the Doctor doesn't show up in the last 2 seasons. Yeah. Granted, in Series 4, it is still, in Series 3 and Series 4, it's still one of those things where it's like, well, he should still show up. All this crap is happening. Why doesn't he show up? So, yeah. Plus, it would be kind of weird because he's from such a different kind of show, really. It's a happier family show, family-friendly show. But then to have him on this, darker, more adult show, that would be kind of odd. I'm realizing I'm not really looking right at you guys in the camera. I'm more, checking out, how I look on the camera, and I'm, reading the chat and stuff. So probably not going to be a lot of eye contact. But yeah. So, and the other thing too is that now that I've watched most of Series 5, I haven't finished the finale, but I've watched up through the Pandorica opens. The Doctor would just hijack the show. It wouldn't be about the Torchwood team anymore. He would basically hijack the show, which, granted, he kind of did that on Sarah Jane, but they, found ways around that. But Matt Smith, if you put Matt Smith on Torchwood, that would be so weird. That would be so weird. I'd love it. That would be fun. That is one of those things where it's like, I want to see this Doctor. I want to see the 11th Doctor interact with some of the characters from the Tennant era. And it's like, we got rid of all of them except for River Song, who we only knew in 2 episodes anyway. So, yeah. So that's interesting. Let's see. What was the villain you enjoyed the most? Ooh, mine would either be John or Susie. John and Susie, I don't know. They were interesting. I kind of... I don't know, Susie, I don't know, we didn't get a lot out of Susie. And then John, well, we didn't get a lot out of John either. He was just like Jack if he was just against Jack, basically. So, okay, so villains. I mean, the 4, 5, 6 are pretty good. The family right now, I will say, is the worst, but that's because we don't know jack about them, and we would have gotten more, but then the show ended, and the show didn't come back, and it's like, we were so close. I want to know about these people. I want them to be great villains, but we don't get them. Okay, so I'm gonna try to run down every single villain in every episode, so here we go. Everything Changes was Susie. Day One was the gas. God, I love Day One, by the way. That, from Series 1, Episode 2, Day One. That's just such a weird episode. Ghost Machine. Was there a particular villain in that one? Not really. It's just kind of the machine itself. Cyberwoman, I feel like that, I see a lot of people, getting onto Day One for being ridiculous. I kind of think Cyberwoman, I feel like Cyberwoman is a bit weird. Like, it's a bit weirder. Mostly because it's a Cyberwoman, and there's just so much of Yanto, and we just had nothing with the guy. I didn't even think he was really a main character. I thought he was just there, at the time. And it's like, and then we just kind of get an episode with him, and it's like, what? We needed to build up to that a bit more. Small Worlds was those fucking fairies. Countryside was Sir Alistair Thorne. He was fucked up, but I love Countryside. That's a dark ass episode. Greeks Bearing Gifts. That to me is the most unmemorable episode. Even at the time, I was like, all right, that happened. What the fuck ever. So yeah, that was Space Girl, whatever. They Keep Killing Susie. I love that title. They Keep Killing Susie. Villain was Susie, obviously. Random Shoes. That one's a fun one. I love that one too. Random Shoes. The villain was just his fucking friends, I guess. Out of Time. There really wasn't a villain in Out of Time. Combat. Who cares about Combat? Captain Jack Harkness, and End of Days is when we got Billis. He was just weird, and then he just left, and we didn't get any more of him. Yeah, that one was kind of weird, but I kind of liked him. He was just this old man popping in and out of existence. And we also got Abaddon, who just sort of showed up, and then they killed him, so yeah. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was John. John was fun, but I don't know. Sleeper was the gross arm thing. Whatever. Till the Last Man, I don't remember. Meat was John Constantine, whatever. Adam, I fucking hated Adam. Such a prick. That episode, and that's a great episode, but ooh. Yeah, such a prick. Reset, I don't know. It had Martha. I don't remember that episode. It's been a while since I've watched these. Dead Man Walking. I don't even think there was a villain in that one. I don't know. A Day in the Death. I don't remember these, obviously. From Out of the Rain was oh fuck, what would they call it? Whatever, the Night Riders? Was that it? I don't remember. Someone told me it's the same guy who plays, like the main guy is the same guy who plays the Nightmare Man on Sarah Jane, which, hey, the first episode of Sarah Jane Series 4 comes out tomorrow onto YouTube, so that's pretty cool. And then... and he also plays Davros, which is pretty cool. He's new Davros, so it's pretty cool. But he, from Out of the Rain, interesting villains. Adrift. I don't even know if there was a villain in Adrift. It was just like, it was just horrifying. Fragments, I guess technically was John. Exit Wounds was Gray. Oh, Gray. That was... I don't want to say he was miscast, because they got a guy who looked like he could be John Barrowman's brother, and he could kind of do the emotional stuff. Not really anything else. Really couldn't be menacing or anything. And then Children of Earth, we had the 456 who were excellent. And then Miracle Day, the family sucked because we didn't see them. We didn't get the next season to really understand them. We just got those two annoying ones at the end. So, yeah. So probably the 456. They were just terrifying. Yeah, so that's probably who I would say for best villain. Yeah, the 456. Okay, maybe not the villain I enjoyed the most, but definitely best villain, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, Matt Smith and Torchwood could work, but that'd be crazy. Y'all are talking about Capaldi's Doctor. I'm not even there yet. Last I saw, the universe exploded or some shit. So yeah. It just came and went. Oh, I love Day One. It's such a shit fest. I love it. Yeah. Oh, Billis. And Adam. The Sleepers. Yeah, the Sleepers. I don't know. The Sleepers. Oh, their fucking arms were gross, but I don't know. They were just kind of there, and then nothing came about it. So yeah, and yeah, Gray was kind of boring. So I should check my stream health. Stream health is still good. Hooray! The fuck else should we talk about? You know what I might do? Let me look at each season and pick out a best episode. Now, I don't know if that's going to apply to Series 3, because I don't think that really works that way, but I'm going to look at the others, and I'm going to pick out a best episode. Should we try picking best and worst? Maybe that's hard. Ugh. Whew. Excuse me. You're burping on stream like some fucking prick. I can't get over how the Sprite logo just becomes a hole. That's just funny. I feel like if I put my finger behind it, you should be able to see it, but nope, not how it works. Do I have any other green shit on here? Whatever. Let's work on best episode. Excuse me. Okay. So, Series 1, once again, we have Everything Changes, Day 1, Ghost Machines, Cyberwoman, Small Worlds, Countryside, Greeks Bearing Gifts, They Keep Killing Susie, Random Shoes, Out of Time, Combat, Captain Jack Harkness, and End of Days. Out of these, best is Out of Time, and runner-up, I would put Countryside. Agreed? That's... Honestly, it's like, when I just briefly look over all that, it's like, yeah, it's definitely... Out of Time was definitely an amazing episode. That was the first episode I was at the table, actually. The first video I ever in my new format, and not one of my best videos. Although I haven't watched it in a while, but it was back on my old camera. The quality was down, and there was an echo. I didn't have my nice microphone that's apparently off camera. Here it is. Hello. So that was an interesting video to film. I had to like prop shit up and stuff. Now I'm a lot more professional, I feel like. I don't know if I would put Cyberwoman that high. But yeah, Out of Time and Countryside I would probably put up there. So, you'd swap it? That makes sense. Countryside, I mean, has a definitive villain and stuff like that. And the twist that it's not anything like Alien. Just some fucking psychopaths in the countryside. So, ooh, all right. Random Shoes. Random Shoes was weird. I liked it, but it was weird. I don't know. I guess we can move on to Series 2. Just as a quick reminder of what we have here in Series 2. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Sleeper, To the Last Man, Meet, Adam, Reset, Dead Man Walking, A Day in the Death, Something Borrowed from Out of the Rain, Adrift, Fragments, and Exit Wounds. As my eye needs to be rubbed. Ah. Ow. Ah. Alright. Best would be the Owen Dead trilogy. So, Reset to establish him getting axed. The fuck was... whatever. Dead Man Walking, good follow-up, showing all that. And then A Day in the Death, just to continue and really give him a lot more character. So, yeah. Although, some pretty strong competition with Adrift. Adrift is an excellent episode. So set. And that was one, because I took like a break between... I took like a 3-week break between From Out of the Rain and Adrift because I needed to start Sarah Jane. So yeah, I finally came back to Torchwood after weeks of not watching it. And the first thing I watch is Adrift, and I was just like, come on, guys. Sad as shit. So yeah. I don't know if I would put Adam that high. Adam was okay. Had one of my favorite reactions. Here. Let me do this. We're going to do what I did in my Game of Thrones stream. I'm going to scoot over here. I'm going to turn this off. Oh, hey, look at this. This guy got a haircut, too. So, yeah. You're not going to hear any of the audio or anything. But yeah, this was one of my favorite... This had one of my favorite reactions in there. His hair is, like, distinctly, like, douchebaggy. Actually, I kind of have the same hair going on. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I guess it's the part. It just looks... I don't know. Something about the part I hate. So... Yeah, and then he's with fucking Tosh. And then changed Owen and stuff like that. Scoot over a little bit. Oh, yeah, all this shit with Reese. She didn't remember Reese. I thought that was funny. Anyway, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Oh yeah, Reactception. I should actually press play. Yeah, this is when Owen had to like confess. Got my fucking pillow on because that was a very hard like thing to react to, like to watch. It was just so confessing to a girl and they don't like you back. It's terrible. Yeah. So I kept that pillow for like a good 10 minutes after that. So all right. Yeah, look at that. Look, I'm keeping that pillow for in the reaction video another few minutes. So then we did get a bit of Jack, like with Jack's past and stuff like that. And then the interesting thing of retconning everyone so that no one would remember him and he'd die. So that was interesting. Yeah, Adam is probably up there. I'm not sure if it would make it into the top 5. Oh shit, you can see like my recommendations, YouTube recommendations and stuff. Whatever. Whatever. It's not like it was porn or anything. It was just some videos. So yeah. Adam is pretty good. That's probably why I would put Series 2 above like Series 1 and stuff like that. Stream health is good. Okay. I am really cautious since last week's stream. I realized one thing. I made a couple adjustments to the stream. So last week I was streaming in 30 frames per second like a dumbass. Or 60. Did I say 30? I meant 60. Clearly I don't need that. So I dropped it down to 30 frames per second for this stream. And I think part of it was also because I actually had the stream playing in a tab, but I don't need to do that, so we're not going to do that. So yeah, Adam was pretty good, I would say. And then, okay, so if we're gonna, so yeah, probably the Owen's Death trilogy, followed by Adrift, and then, yeah, probably Adam, now that I look about it, and then maybe Something Borrowed. Something Borrowed was actually really good, too. It was a fun episode. Very, very crazy, and I liked it, so yeah. And then Fragments. Fragments was actually a really good episode. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Fragments was also really good, given everyone's backstory, except Jack's, which I actually thought was really funny. And everyone's backstory, well, except Gwen's, because we had her backstory. It was episode 1, basically. So, sorry, I'm popping my fingers down here below the table, or below my desk, so none of you have to hear that. God, my fucking bangs. Ugh, I hate how short they are now. I mean, they'll get longer in a few days. That's the thing. Every time I get a haircut, I have to wait a week before it actually looks good again. But what the fuck ever. Do we even attempt to find best of Children of Earth? I don't think so. I don't think we can. I think you just lump that all as one long episode, basically. But I feel like Miracle Day we can probably get something out of. Sorry. Oh, did we get Jack's backstory? Oh, we got how he joined Torchwood. That's right, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was how everyone joined Torchwood except Gwen, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, if we were to do best of Miracle Day, probably Immortal Sins. Yeah. Yeah, probably Immortal Sins for the best episode, because it is sort of a self-contained story and stuff like that. And it gave some much needed context to what was happening in the season. The only one that doesn't blend together. Yes, I will say that. Like, you know, in the middle of that episode, when it would cut back to Jack and Gwen, and then, you know, I would remember, oh yeah, Rex and Esther are still out there. Like, oh, this is still Miracle Day. There was a bit of a disconnect because the backstory, that whole backstory, it just felt very Torchwood. And the rest of the season was, not that it wasn't very Torchwood, but at the same time, it was different. It was definitely different. Oh, I'm trying to adjust myself in my chair. I gotta be careful. I don't really have a lot of space between me and this green screen. So, anyway. The categories of life was... it was kind of interesting. What all happened in that one? Let me see. Here. Let you guys look at this too. What all happened? See, this was just a few weeks ago for me. Yeah, this is when... this is when they established the categories of life. So... yeah, let's see. And then they start fucking. We have a PowerPoint presentation. They do that. Welcome to Torchwood. And apparently I said something witty here, so I cut the video. Yeah, we learned about the modules in this one. This fucking... oh, these fucking people that worshipped Oswald Danes. Can we just say Oswald Danes was one of the weirdest characters ever? But he was definitely interesting. Fucking... yeah, they're throwing shit at him. I feel like if it was anyone other than Bill Pullman, they probably couldn't have pulled it off. I don't know. And apparently I said something witty here as well. And then we got this fuck. This fuck. Oh, I hate this guy. He's always got that weird-ass smile. He's talking weird. Oh, this is when Jack was Batmaning. Oh, that's awesome. This fucking guy. Yeah, and this is when Vera gets shot, and this fucking soldier doesn't do anything about it, and then this is when Teddy Sears showed up. Handsome man. Got a bit of a talk between Jack and Oswald. He talked about the revelation, and then Vera got burned alive. That was pretty much that. So that one was pretty good, I will say. That one was good, and then the next one was okay. Oh my god, it's actually over here. It's actually recommending this stream. Holy crap. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, check stream health. Good. By the way, if the frame rate craps out, don't be afraid to tell me. It took me like 10 minutes last time when the frame rate just went to a slideshow. Like no one told me anything, and it was like 10 minutes before I found out. So yeah, but I think we're doing okay right now. Alrighty. So yeah. So categories of life was pretty good, I will say. But I think if you want to go with what was the best, it was probably Immortal Sins. And maybe I honestly say that because it felt like a Torchwood episode, basically. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. I mean, yeah. So categories of life is pretty high up there, I will say. So yeah. Okay. Is that the actor who plays the guy, the main like weirdo? Yeah, the guy who burned Vera, Colin Maloney. He was great, I gotta say. It's just so weird. He was weird and creepy and ugh. So, yeah. Okay. Here's an interesting question. I can turn off the reaction thing, the reaction scene again. Let me do that. Adjust my shirts, because I gotta keep doing that. Okay. If you could have one of the Torchwood crew as your best friend in real life, who would it be? Who would you get on with the most and be able to trust? Probably Reese. Probably Reese. Probably because he's normal. That's probably why. But I don't know. I don't think I would get along with Owen. maybe Jack, just because Jack seems to be, I don't know, Jack, friend to all living creatures, and banger of all living creatures. So, I mean, I don't swing that way, but you can't deny he's a handsome man. Anyway, this stream is fun. Yeah, probably Reese, because honestly, he's the most normal. I don't know. He's just, average guy. He's funny, so probably Reese. And then maybe Gwen. Yeah. Thoughts on Torchwood's move to America? I thought it was fine. It was a little odd, and we had to spend an entire episode literally moving the show from one location to the next. But honestly, I thought going to America was fine. Pretty much making Torchwood global. Because towards the end, we weren't even in America anymore. We went to Buenos Aires, and then we went to Shanghai. So I don't know. I'm actually all right with that. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed Series 4, so it just, suffered from, basically taking its time. Could have cut this down to, 6 or 7 episodes, and it probably would have been, really solid. But yeah, I would probably say Torchwood moving to America was pretty, it was good. I liked it. And, it changes things up, and especially after, we blew up the Torchwood hub in Series 3 and stuff like that. Yeah, it felt alright, so yeah. What decisions would you make, agree, or disagree with, and how would you deal with the 456 if you were in Frobisher's position? Oh, shit. If I was in Frobisher's position, we'd all be fucking dead, probably. If I was in Frobisher's position, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably send us towards war. But I don't know if I would... Oh, God, I have dog hair on me. Sorry, that's Darby's. Not the point. I would probably send us towards war. Which is not great, because we don't know if this is the only 456, if it's just this one dude, or if there's an entire legion. But I don't think I would give up the children, and especially after they learn that the children are used as drugs, basically. Like, you'd be like, no, fuck you. Because, this probably sounds horrible. I don't know how many of you are going to agree with me on this, but, I'd rather go to war because it'd probably be better for them to die in a space war than to live on forever as drugs for some weird Cthulhian alien thing. Yeah. Does that sound bad? I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably push for war. Don't send me to do negotiations. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I would not give up any children to them. That's the thing. Basically, I would find another way. Life finds a way. So yeah, but I mean, we would have to be. Could you have done what Jack did at the end, or tried to find another way around? That's really hard, man. I don't think I could have done what Jack did, but I don't know how I would get around that. Other than war. We'll go get Bill Pullman. We'll accept as the president in Independence Day, not as Oswald Danes. And then we'll have him give a rousing speech Randy Quaid will go up some alien's asshole and blow it up, and then Will Smith will kill people, and Jeff Goldblum will be there. Yeah. I would push us towards Independence Day. I don't think I could ever do what Jack did, but honestly, I don't have another way around it. Which is probably the best thing about Children of Earth, is that everything that happens, it's like, what would you do? There's no obvious answer as to what do we do. So, which makes it interesting to where when you see what happened, it's like, oh, but I get it. But it sucks. It's what Game of Thrones needed at the end. That's a little tangent there. Yeah. Yeah, that's the sign of a good story. A well-written story is when you have these horrible decisions that the characters are making, but at the same time you don't know how you can what you could do differently. So, yeah. Love your videos, dude. Keep up with the good work. Thank you. Nice to have you here. Let's see. To be fair, I do think that was his only option. Yes. I will say that was sort of his only option other than an all-out war. Yeah, that is definitely, which again, that's the thing. That the choice Jack had to make at the end of Children of Earth was horrible. But there really wasn't anything else he could do. So, it's so hard. So hard. Missed the first hour of this. It will be going up on this stream. Will be going up on the channel when this is over. Not immediately. It takes a little while for YouTube to process it, but just keep looking. It'll show up. I'll post it on Twitter when it's done processing. But yes, this will go up to Twitter for sure, or go up to YouTube for sure. Excuse me. Once this is over. That's an interesting thought. It was easier for him because he is sort of removed from this society, so he can impartially make the choice. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, you guys are right. That is why he was chosen the first time. I agree. It makes sense. Which is interesting because, well, and I guess it's just how Jack works. Jack can make that decision. Whereas, if you take the Doctor, who, yes, is sort of removed from our society as well, but he would never do that. He would never sacrifice them. He would never sacrifice, his own grandchild. Let's say, because hell, we can sort of make that. We can sort of make, well, kind of, because the Doctor also has a grandchild. He has Susan, at least. He might have more, but I don't know. All I know about is Susan. Granted, he did have a relationship with Susan. They were, they were close. They were companions, basically. And the difference is Jack really didn't have, he didn't even have a relationship with his grandson. He barely had a relationship with his daughter. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the Doctor would have found another way, but that's what the Doctor can do. That is how the Doctor works, Whereas, as immortal as Jack is, and as, somewhat alien as Jack is not the Doctor. And I feel like that's his greatest Achilles heel throughout the entire show, is that everything he has to go through, it's almost like he's trying to live up to the Doctor, but he just can't. He just can't. So, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, Jack is limited to human knowledge and gadgets. And, he doesn't have the experience that the Doctor has. Yes, he was a time agent, and, he's been, working for Torchwood for so long, but the Doctor has been doing this consistently for 1,000 years almost. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gave up on the series, didn't you? You posted that on Patreon. I remember that. Was it Patreon or maybe it was Twitter? No, I think it was on Patreon. Yeah, you gave up after episode 5 of Miracle Day. That's a shame. I still like Miracle Day. And I think that's a good episode too. But yeah. That's interesting though, if you found that too depressing and distasteful. Series 3 though, well, it's not distasteful, but it's depressing as all get out. I don't know, man. Well, you know what, give it a few weeks. Maybe give it a few weeks, give it a few months or a few years, and maybe try to come back to Miracle Day. So yeah. Miracle Day is such... I mean, it's exactly... See, here's the thing. It's like, it's a Torchwood season and not a Torchwood season because it is so all over the place and weird. But so is Torchwood. That's the weird thing. So yeah, Stream Health is good. Yeah. Oswald Danes. What a weird-ass character, wasn't he? A weird character that they kind of ran out of things to do with, so they were just like, Like, they kept him around because, like, well, he's an interesting character, and we got Bill Pullman, but what the hell do we do with him now? So they just kept going. Let's see. Let's see here. What do you think about Martha being in Torchwood? Do you think it worked well having the character from a lighter show in there? Yeah, Martha, the addition of Martha was really great, actually, into those 3 episodes. I really did like that. Yeah. Which is also interesting because only really that first episode, I feel like, was sort of centered on Martha. Like, she played a big part in that one. And then, but that's the thing, is that the 3 episodes that Martha is there are the 3 episodes that Owen, dies and comes back and goes through all this character development and stuff. So that was honestly interesting. But yeah, I did like the addition of Martha. I don't know. I mean, I wanted her to stay as part of the team, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it could have worked, I think. It would have been interesting. Martha would have definitely been the moral compass of the team at that point. Yeah, she would have definitely been the moral center, and honestly might have made Children of Earth even more interesting, because she would be there being like, what the hell are we doing? We can't sacrifice children. You can't kill your grandson. So maybe that would have made the dynamic even more interesting, but Series 3 is really great as it is, so maybe you didn't need that. Would have been interesting if they had Mickey, though. That's the one where I really wanted that. Even if it's just for a few episodes, I wanted Mickey, but they just didn't do it. And it's like, God damn it. That would have been interesting to have Mickey in there. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah, no other show can have an Oswald Danes. Torchwood is just one of those weird shows where it's like, man, they don't hold back on some of this shit. Like, I really like, just with everything about Torchwood, it's like, Torchwood went all the way in a lot of places, which is great. I love that. But, yeah, Torchwood, having a character like Oswald Danes, you know, and to the point where it's like, you know, you couldn't, like, words. I know words. I have the best words. Like, okay, when they first introduced Oswald Danes, and, you know, it was that news lady talking about him and stuff, and it's like, and they were saying, like, okay, well, he'll be remembered for his famous words. When the police caught him, he said, "She should have run faster." And I remember, and this is all in that reaction, I sat there and I was just like, yep, we're back to Torchwood. Like, that's how crazy this show is. That by the time we get to this rapist, pedophile, murderer, like, and they say, and he says, like, the most awful crap, I'm just sitting there like, yep, it's another day at the Torchwood office. Like, that's crazy that became kind of normal for Torchwood. But I love it. I love how crazy Torchwood gets. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Some audios with Martha. I like that. I feel like there was one question that I missed that I wanted to talk about. What was it? There was something one of you guys said. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, I'm going crazy. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, Oswald Danes, they just sort of didn't know what to do with at a point. Like, he worked for a while, you know, being sort of the spokesman of FICOR and stuff like that. But then that's the problem, is the show moved past FICOR and we started dealing with the families. But then it's like, okay, well, what do we do with Oswald Danes? We took Jilly, you know, we took her and, you know, moved her up with the families and made her made her a full villain. But then it was like, Oswald Dane's like, what the hell do we do with this guy? And it's like, he finds information online because he's good at hiding himself online, being a fucking pedophile. I hate when they brought that up. Like, both times they brought that up. And it's like, and I know, because that's fucking how Oswald Danes talks. And I know how to hide myself online. And it's just like, fucking, of course he would. And it's like, damn it, the show is so clever. Of course he knows. God. It's like, it pisses me off and it's brilliant at the same time. Just this fucking character. Yeah. Is there any other secondary characters from Doctor Who or Sarah Jane you'd like to have seen on Torchwood? The Trickster. Obviously. How would you do it, or have them play into a storyline? I mean, you can easily throw the Trickster into anywhere. What if they made an entire season with the Trickster? I want them to do that on Sarah Jane. Have like a serialized season. Obviously, we can't do that anymore for obvious reasons. God rest her soul. But yeah, if they had done that on Torchwood, that would be so cool. Could they you could never get away with this, but if they could somehow cross over Sarah Jane and Torchwood, that would never work in a million. You can't even cross over Torchwood and Doctor Who. You know, you can cross Torchwood over onto Doctor Who. Maybe, oh, that would have been cool, actually, which, I mean, I guess I'm still going in the show in Sarah Jane, but I don't think that's going to happen, yeah, have a good time, man. Thank you for coming, by the way. Yeah, so if we could have Jack cameo, kind of like the Doctor, you know, have Jack in an episode of Sarah Jane, that would be kind of cool. I don't know how you would write Jack Harkness for a children's show, but yeah. God, that would be interesting. And then, yeah. No, they would never do a Sarah Jane Torchwood crossover. That would never happen. The best you can hope for is bringing those characters onto Doctor Who. That's the best you can hope for with that. But you could still get away with the Trickster on Torchwood, which they had a little bit. They had that freaking parasite thing, and Jack was like, "Oh, it's from the Trickster's Brigade," which I love that little tie-in. I anything Trickster I love. Trickster's one of my favorite villains from Doctor Who. You know, just the fucking villain that started in Sarah Jane and is now infected all the other shows and stuff like that. So, yeah, the Trickster, you know, if you had like 5 episodes, a 5-episode Torchwood season, serialized season, where the main villain is the Trickster. Ooh. But see, even the best part about that is you can't kill him. You can defeat him temporarily, but even in a 5-episode, like if you did a Torchwood Series 3 kind of deal with the Trickster, you still couldn't fully beat him, which is amazing. Oh, I fucking love the Trickster. Yeah. Let's see. Alrighty. Yeah, there were no Sarah Jane Torchwood crossover. So, and they can't do that now. They really can't do that now. Torchwood's not... I don't know if Torchwood's ever going to come back as a proper show. It could. It definitely could. But it's been so long. You know, Miracle Day was what, 2011? So that's 8 years ago. It could. John Barrowman doesn't look any older, so you could do that. And yeah, can't bring back Sarah Jane Adventures, unfortunately. Because, yeah. God rest his soul. It's going to be sad when I get to the last episode of Sarah Jane, isn't it? Oh, it's going to be sad as shit, I'm sure. You know what I just thought of? You know what you could do now? If they brought back Torchwood now as a show, you could bring in the kids from the Sarah Jane Adventures because they're adults now. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. That'd be fucked. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Ooh, maybe. Should have done a Unit spin-off series with Martha as the protagonist. They need to do more shit with Unit, basically. Like, you know, it's gonna be fun, you know. It's gonna be fun when I get to the Third Doctor's era, because I know he's very involved. Like, well, from what I saw, he pretty much lives with Unit. So yeah, that would be. So they should do more with Unit. I don't know. It's such a weird. Yes, it would be very weird. It would be very weird if you got the kids, if you got the now grown-up kids from Sarah Jane and put them on Torchwood. That would be weird, but hey, you know, we haven't had a real tech person since, well, okay, we had Tosh as the tech girl, and then she kind of got replaced by Esther, but Esther's dead. Esther is dead now. So have Luke. Hello? You know? Yeah. The Big Finish new series unit spinoff, though it's a bit further forward in the show. Oh, that's cool. That's at least cool. So, yeah. Oh, what, y'all are talking about Class? Oh, I know nothing about Class other than it's a spinoff. It has one season, and anytime it gets brought up, there are mixed reactions to it, so that'll be fun to get to. Sure, it'll be fine. Let's see. Okay, well, don't color. All right. Stop talking about Class. That's enough of that. Although you guys are getting kind of salty about it, which is funny. God, I love it when you guys get salty. God, people. That was one of my favorite things about the end of Game of Thrones was was everyone got salty. It was hilarious. But anyway, stop talking about Class. We'll get there when we get there. We don't need to talk about it now. We're talking about Torchwood. Although, let's see. We've been going for over an hour now. An hour and 12 minutes. So we should probably wrap this up soon. We probably don't need to go too much longer. But if you guys got some last remaining questions, I'll be glad to answer them right now. I'll give you guys a second to do that. And then we'll sign off. But yeah. So if you guys got any questions, some last-minute questions, maybe quick questions that I can answer just kind of right in a row, and then we'll peace out of here. Stream health is still looking pretty good, so that's good. I think my preventative measures have helped this stream. All right, here we go. Do you think Owen and Tosh should have gotten together before they ran out of time? They should have banged once. Just once. And then probably not after that. Like, that should have been at least one thing. They should have banged once. And then, I don't know, and then Jack gets in there somehow. Because Jack always gets in there somehow. It should have just been an orgy at some point. Favorite Jack death? Ooh. I'm trying to remember them all. So fucking many of them. When he got blown up in Children of Earth. Cause that second episode, we just saw him completely reforming. So yeah. Unrelated question. Are you going to do a Merlin live stream? Obviously, once you're finished with season 1. I can, I guess. I didn't know Merlin was going to... I don't know. Merlin has been the surprise of this channel, I feel like. Just, man, you guys are very, very active fan base. Maybe. If not at the end of season 1, then at the end of the show I will. But anyway. Hashtag justice for Night King. I feel like he got justice. Anyway. But we're talking about Torchwood. What would you do if you saw a Weevil in real life? Oh, shit. I'd probably back away slowly and try to hope it just goes away. And then hopefully Torchwood would be around the corner. See, that was the problem with... that was the main problem with Series 3 and Series 4. There were no fucking Weevils. Because they all got blown up, probably. But yeah, they should have brought them back at some point. Let's see. Am I the only one who found Yanto's death way too rushed and unwarranted? It happened. Yeah, I can understand that. I think it still worked, but it did kind of just happen. So, yeah. Favorite supporting character? Reese. Does Reese count? I think Reese counts as a supporting character. Yeah, Reese. Definitely Reese. Sarah Jane season 4 is considered the best. Far out. Marilyn gets better. Alright, cool. Thoughts on Andy? I really liked Andy. It was just sort of there, wasn't he? I liked at the end in the last 2 seasons when he actually got a little bit more to do, actually. When he has to take off his vest and go beat the shit out of people. I thought that was cool. And then in series 4, when he gets a fucking attack squad together, he gets a SWAT team to go save Reese and the mother. So yeah. Am I just being bitter about it? You might be being a little bitter about Yanto. It was a little. It just kind of came out of nowhere. It just happened, and I was like, oh shit, I guess that happened. But yeah. Yes, I've heard about the memorial to Yanto. If I ever find myself in Cardiff, I will go look at it, but that requires going to Cardiff. Dad wants to go to England sometime. So I don't know. We'll have to do that sometime. Not anytime soon, I can tell you that, but someday I will go to England, most likely with Dad, and we'll probably go see it. Any Torchwood story idea you would like to have seen happen? Probably the Sleepers, or bring back Billis, or both. Bring back the Sleepers who are being controlled by Billis. I'd say that. Bring back the Absorbaloff. God damn it. He's so gross and weird. But it needs to be the same Absorbaloff somehow, and it still has all their faces. Or you get a new Absorbaloff and it has just a bunch of random celebrity faces. Yeah, that'd be funny. So yeah. Ooh, sorry. Knuckles need to be cracked. Man, this stream went by fast, didn't it? Has it been an hour already? You're joking, right? There's no big finish Absorbaloff thing, is there? Oh, what is the sister planet to Rexacorcophallopatorius? Clom. I love that ending scene, probably because of Tennant and Piper in that one. But yeah, it was just funny. You know who they should have brought in to Torchwood at least one time? Should have brought in the Slitheen. They were in 2 episodes of Doctor Who. Were they in the Pandorica? They mentioned them in the Pandorica, which I just watched yesterday. I just reacted to that yesterday. They mentioned them, and then they're all over the place in Sarah Jane, and they're just so goofy that, yeah. Oh, if the Slitheen were there, that'd be really cool. Oh man, you're teasing me on the friggin' Absorbaloff thing. Oh, I hate that. Will the paving slab be a major... Man, oh god. That fucking episode. Would you use the resurrection gloves that Susie used or keep away from them? I'd keep away from them. It just seems to be a bad thing. So, yeah. Found the Slitheen were too much in Sarah Jane Adventures. I mean, they're fun, but they are overused in the Sarah Jane Adventures. I will say that. They bring them back all the fucking time, and then they brought in the Blatherine, and it's like, well, fuck. I don't need that. All right. But at least once. That would have been fun at least once. All right, bonus question. This is going to be the last question. Who would you bring back from death if you could? On Torchwood or in general? On Torchwood, Esther. I'd bring back Esther. Fucking cute girl dies for shit. Other than that, maybe Owen. Yeah. I'd bring back Torchwood. Oh, that's sad. Okay, that's it. That's it for questions. Yeah. So that's it for this stream. Thank you all for coming out. I really enjoyed this. Soon I will be getting to the Torchwood audios. Soon, not at this exact moment, but soon. I'm gonna get to work on those. So yeah. But yeah, thank you all for coming out to the stream. I really enjoyed this. Next week, I'm going to go ahead and announce next week's stream. Next week, we're not going to be doing any discussion or anything. I've decided I want to do a little bit of gaming. Yeah. Next week, I'm going to be streaming Sonic Adventure. Man, didn't that answer just come out of nowhere? Yeah, next week I'm going to be streaming Sonic Adventure. If you want to come on by, it'll probably be around the same time as this one. So around 2 o'clock-ish Central Time. So yeah, we're going to stream Sonic Adventure. We're going to have some fun. But the week after that, so what Sunday is that? So next week, August 4th, we're going to be streaming Sonic Adventure. August 11th, I'm going to be streaming a discussion of Doctor Who Series 5. And then after that, I don't know. I want to try to make streaming a regular thing. We'll see how well that works out. But, yeah. Do I play Skyrim? I do play Skyrim. Oh, do you want me to stream Skyrim? Maybe. That's a possibility. But Sonic Adventure first. So yeah, if you guys want to come back next week for Sonic Adventure, you can. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then the week after that, we'll be doing Doctor Who Series 5. And then also, just to say, after once Sarah Jane ends, we will be doing a discussion on that too. So yeah, that is pretty much that. Once again, thank you all for coming out here today. Really enjoyed this. And, yeah. So, yeah, that is pretty much that. I guess I can do my normal outro. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. And now for the awkward 5 to 10 seconds before I click the end stream button. Alright, later.